Uh, he actually has encouraged me with her universe, and I ran crazy designs by him when he thought I was crazy. I made a bedazzled hat for his wife, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And the next thing you know, he encouraged me to do this line. So, we've worked together for 6 years, Dave, and I feel that we chat about this stuff all the time. But, as the supervising director of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, you have obviously developed so many strong female characters, one being Ahsoka Tano. And take us through your process of developing a new character. Female character.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is it never occurs to me that they're female. I wouldn't know. When we started with Ahsoka, it was really difficult for me because I was kind of worried, like, I have no experience writing that. I don't know what this girl might think. But I kind of learned over time that it didn't matter because she's just a Jedi. That was the most important thing. She's a Jedi and she's training. And she's going to have struggles and problems the same that I had as a kid. And I have to say that on my crew, that I have a lot of, the girls on the crew are quite exceptional. All the way to the top of our production team throughout. And I think I learned a lot from them. When George brought up the idea of having you have a nickname, Snips, I was really resistant to that whole concept, I have to say. And so to practice it, I started calling my assistant Snips. And I would see whether she liked that or not. And I would get kind of the way that she would punch back at me with dialogue, and I would put that into the show actually as a way to experiment with it. But, it never occurs to me, Luminara is a Jedi Knight. She's incredibly wise. She's a woman, some of them are quite attractive, but that doesn't ever factor into it for me. They have real problems. They're fighting a war. They have the same issues that any general would have leading their soldiers. So I try to go about it from there. And I also have to say my wife Anna is a really great springboard for any ideas I have in there. And, she's very well read, far more than I am. But like you, I think Eowyn, I have to say, was a huge thing for me as a kid. I remember reading Return of the King when I got to that point where she slays the Witch King. I remember rereading that page because I was so shocked as a little boy. Because I was like, really, the Witch King? And then looking back, I think it's sad that was my reaction in a way, but it made me reread it. And it made me think about why is that? And here you have a character, it doesn't matter, she's female, but because of that she's been judged by her peers that she's in this kind of caging. So she's so ready and accepting of death that when she faces death there before her, and everyone else who's human is afraid to lose their life, she's not. And like the other panelists were saying, that's a real dilemma. It doesn't matter if she's a girl. But the funniest thing about the scene is that when the Witch King says, "No living man may hinder me," and she's there, she's like, "Ha, well, guess what?" And she takes her helmet off, and her hair spills out. That's a really inspirational scene, and she's an incredibly inspirational character. So, yeah, I think that probably affected me, and I hope I do right. I think I've done right by your character. I'd like to think so. And the writers have come on and do a great job. And I know everybody gives it a lot of thought, but the same amount of thought we give to Anakin, it's not that different.
Well, one thing I've noticed is that, especially with the toys, because I've heard over and over again that little boys will not buy female action figures. And I have to say, we've gone past that, because now I've met so many little boys that have to have the Ahsoka action figure because they look past her gender. She's no longer a girl Padawan. She's just Anakin's Padawan. They don't see the fact that she's a girl. And that truly is a testament to how you've written the female characters. Somehow you bypass gender. And it's not just with Ahsoka, you've done that with many of the characters. You forget about it. They're just such strong characters.
Well, I think the kids just want to relate to her being trained. As a kid, I wanted to be a Jedi. I think I did when we saw Luke training. And I thought, if they see Ahsoka going through this, kids like to see other kids experience things, be challenged by things. And when Henry Dior and I started the series, we decided we wanted to add another Jedi. We decided immediately that it was going to be a girl, just because we'd seen Luke. Okay, Luke did his thing, and then I saw Anakin and he did his thing. And I thought, any boy we do, are we just going to go on that kind of hero's quest? I want to see, what about all the other Jedi, the female Jedi, the Shaktis, Luminara, Adi what's going on there? Why not have a kid and see how they handle it? And I think she's my favorite character, as I've told you, and I really like writing her and her story. And everybody now seems concerned on whether we're going to kill her or not. And I think any concern over whether a character's going to live or not, if people care that much to say, please don't do it. I guess we've done okay, so we'll see.